I'd like to say thank you to all that have served and are currently serving in our U.S. military. Thank you for our freedom and fighting for it every single day.
Military, men and women, those who serve our country, grateful for all that they've done and continue to do.
It's Memorial Day. I know we're racing tonight, but we're racing for them, for what they've done for us.
At first, I didn't know what to expect. And then when they unveiled the cars on the boards of how they were gonna look, it was really overwhelming, real surreal. It was just pretty neat, too. It was my choice. Lowe's gave me that opportunity to pick. My eye was drawn to the stars. My feeling of the stars are when you lose somebody, they're little stars in heaven and they're watching down over you. Oh, wow, that's really pretty. That's really nice. It's really special. It's always really good to see your child's name, that he's not forgotten, that he's remembered. Seeing it just feels real. I'm just very honored that they're not gonna let my son be forgotten. He was killed in May, so May's a hard month. My company gave me something positive now, a softer thing to look at in May. It's not gonna be as hard as it normally has been. The scheme, red, white, and blue, it's representing America at its finest. It's just gonna be a flag flying down the road, winning a race.
Stop. There's Jimmie in the 48, Vince.
Yeah, he gained 3 spots during that pit exchange, and he's up 13 all told so far tonight, running 10th. The fallen service member being honored by the 48 is Army Ranger Frankie Phillips, who lost his life in Afghanistan in 2003. Members of Frankie's family are here tonight, including his mom, Cherie, who you see there in the upper right-hand portion of the screen. You know, they presented Jimmie with dog tags today, honoring Frankie. Jimmie wore those tags all day today, has them in his pocket as he races tonight. It was a real honor for Jimmie when I spoke with him about it earlier tonight before he got in the car.
There's a nice connection there. I believe that lady works in a Lowe's store up in Auburn, New York.
Yes, sir.
Yep. And, you know, we heard the communication on the radio with Jimmie Johnson on that last pit stop. Boy, he may have had an issue with his page on the dash and different things, but it didn't slow that pit stop down.
Yep.
Like Johnson around Stenhouse tonight.
Boy, I like the way Johnson is running the racetrack. He's kind of diamond in the corners a little bit, going up in the middle and getting a nice run off, and it's making some pretty nice speed around here right now.
4 tires and a small adjustment. Vince?
48 of Jimmie Johnson pits from the 6th position. They're just going to make a slight air pressure adjustment because this is going to be a short run to the end of the stage. 4 tires, no other changes. Matt?
When Kevin Harder.
You can never count Jimmie Johnson, Chad Knaus, and that 48 team out of anything.
Vince?
Well, remember, they started 23rd, and when I talked to Jimmie today before the race, he said, we qualified terrible. He said, but I'm not worried. I think we're actually pretty good, and I think you'll see that in the race. He was very calm and seemed very confident about his car, and they have been on the move, and they've had a couple of good pit stops, too. They picked up 3 spots on the first stop and did not lose any ground at all on the second stop. So 48 on point in all areas tonight.
Yeah, Vince, when he says he's pretty good at this racetrack at Charlotte Motor Speedway, I'd take that to the bank.
He definitely has a special knack of this racetrack. So far, having the best run he's had all year.
Look at these greats tied with 3 wins apiece. Then look at Jimmie Johnson with 4.
Then,
whoops,
there's the
man. DW with 5.
Where'd he come from? I loved it. That's my favorite race, man.
Johnson, a second and a half off the lead, was closing on Kyle Busch, but Kyle has now opened it up a bit, and Johnson may have to deal with Kyle.
Kyle Busch he's got 3 wins, and that's more. And he only has 2 stage wins, so this will be big for him tonight. You can hear the guys working that throttle. It's never all the way wide open. You got to work it, pedal a little bit, let the car get a little grip, and then get back in it.
Oh, things are going to get tight here straight away.
That was J.J. Yaley.
And that was Jimmie Johnson that went on the outside. Oh, my gosh. Well, that was close.
All right, pits are closed for the final 2 laps in each stage. That did little to end that battle.
Mike, you know what I see? I think Jimmie Johnson is feeling it tonight.
Kyle Busch has led now 92 of the 98 laps so far. Johnson and Truex 4th and 5th.
2 years ago, this would have been for the lead. Those two went and battled it out here a couple years ago, and Truex went on to win. But right now, today, it's all about Kyle Busch in this 18 car.
Here you go, Jimmie again. He just forced his way right in between the 78 and the 51. I think Truex might come out on top this time. He's going to get that bottom lane, come up in front of Jimmie and hold him off.
Kyle Busch gets his 3rd stage win of 2018 from Ryan Blaney, Kyle Larson, Martin Truex, Jimmie Johnson, and Eric Jones.
Jimmie Johnson in the 48 pitting from 5th this time. On that shorter run, they had made an air pressure adjustment, and Jimmie didn't like how it tightened him up on landing. That's the only complaint. Much better on the longer run for Jimmie. It's going to be a 4-tire change, Matt.
Wide into 3, top to bottom, and there they
Somebody
go.
goes around right in front of the field.
Jimmie Johnson.
Joey Logano's around.
And everybody missed Johnson.
And I don't think even the 22 got very substantial damage to his car.
I'm not sure if anybody made contact with anybody, but that was an incredible job by all those guys to miss that. This is in the front of the field.
Joey Logano's run started back between turns 1 and 2. And he had incredible speed, went top to bottom to top again, and then got involved in all this. First, let's see what happens to the 48.
The 11 goes to the inside. They make contact.
Yep.
Very similar to what we saw in the All-Star race. I think it was what, the 17, the 78. That turns Jimmie Johnson around. Boy, the 20 was just trying to get slowed down, was on the rear bumper of Logano in the 22, and that's what turned him around.
That's amazing.
Let's watch from Denny Hamlin.
So one outside from behind. One outside. Behind the Menard car, if you want it, still outside.
Jimmie making that left sit down into the corner.
They were racing for 5th. Let's go back to 14th. Here's Logano off turn 2. Flying around Chris Buescher. Elliott up to block. Logano goes to the bottom. Under Ricky Stenhouse. 3 wide into the corner. And then trouble.
That's that one time when you didn't want to get that good of a run. Boy, that was so close to disaster for both of those drivers.
Wow.
Want to ride with Joey?
Clear low still. No runs. There you go. Outside. Still there. And outside. Keep running low, though. He's going to come down. Keep coming low. Come on, he's coming down. Come on. Go high. Good miss. Hold the brake here. Hold the brake. We're going to be fine. Hold the brake.
Great job to TJ Majors. That was Dale Jr.'s spotter. Now Joey Logano's this year.
Damage.
Now look, he's going to miss Johnson. He's going to swerve again to the right and miss him.
Look how he stood
but
on
Jones
the brakes.
just caught him.
I think the 20 saved him. I think it shot him up the hill just enough that he was able to get around the 48.
Well, let's listen in on Jimmie Johnson and company.
No contact. Be sure to thank the 11 for being such a great guy.
10-4. We got that.
Vince?
Just a little bit of left rear quarter panel damage for Jimmie Johnson. Chad Knaus in a particularly good mood. The boss on the box tonight, along with the driver Jimmie Johnson. They didn't even have to bring any tools out. Just pulled out that left rear behind the left rear tire.
You gotta love Earl Barb. His spotter up there, 10-4.
Jamie? Out with the wall earlier. Here are 2 of his Hendrick Motorsport teammates battling for 13th, Alex Bowman and Jimmie Johnson.
I think Jimmie's got a pretty good car tonight. I mean, if you look at his progress earlier and got up to the top 5, had that incident between he and Hamlin. He's fighting his way back up there pretty nicely, up to 12th, 13th place.
Denny Hamlin battling Ryan Newman for 7th. Yeah, Johnson restarted, what, 26th, and got himself up now to 13th. Just 10 cars, well, it'll be 9 on the lead lap.
Mike, I had a lot of drivers tell me that the track was the bumpiest they ever remember it, but then I hear the crew chiefs and some of the guys talking about most aggressive setup they've ever run here too.
Jimmie Johnson's in, Vince.
Yeah, it's just going to be a 4-tire stop for Jimmie. They've been really pleased with their car. They haven't taken any big swings at all, just a little bit of an air pressure adjustment throughout the course of the night. And remember, he had to go to the back after spinning earlier with that little bit of contact with Denny Hamlin, and he still drove his way back inside the top 10. The best car I've seen out of the 48 this season.
Johnson's away, and hearing chatter on the 11 radio that the leader may jam out of turn 2.
Incredible.
Cars like Jimmie Johnson on fresh tires battling those with worn tires. Daniel Suarez and Casey Kane almost had a meeting up in turn 4 last time by.
Yeah, that was looking, and that was about 4 different cars that were looking.
You know, this tire's a little bit softer than what we saw here a year ago, and here's a replay. The 19 is Suarez, gets loose underneath Casey Kane. Boy, great job.
Nice catch.
Got to make contact, but look, that's what happened where everybody like Alex Bowman, Jimmie Johnson, Paul Menard, and McMurray all come barreling down on those guys. But give credit to Goodyear. You know, this is a tire they tried.
0. Vince.
Well, the 48 of Jimmie Johnson, you see moving past the 20 of Eric Jones. Johnson back inside the top 10. They had an issue on that last pit stop. The jack malfunctioned, so that cost them a couple of spots on pit road, a much slower stop. The good news is their car continues to be very solid tonight. Not as much grip that last run, but that's the only complaint Jimmie's had about it tonight.
2
Toyotas, 3 Fords, 5 Chevrolets in the top 10.
Yeah, and you know what? You look at Almirola and Boyer, SHR cars right there, both running in the top 5 right now.
I meant last Saturday as in yesterday, not the All-Star race, the Xfinity race. Oh, how quickly we forget. Thank you.
I thought, Mike, I believed you. I thought, you know what? He must have done that in the All-Star race, too.
It was a good story, wasn't it? No, that was yesterday. .400 miles down, 200 to go, and the track has cooled another 5 degrees. Gets cooler, gets more humid also.
I tell you, it's getting hotter on the track, though. These guys are racing each other pretty hard right now.
What'd you call it? It's getting a little steamy. Boy, looked like Jimmie Johnson just got really loose off of turn 4. Either that or he just tried to get away from the car on the outside of him and try to get. Let's see this.
Down on the bottom, you can see the back starting to kick out.
He just got real loose. I saw him running real low. Casey Kane did a nice job just staying in the gas, getting to the outside of him.
Yeah, Casey Kane been running around the top 12, 15 here. He's running 14th right now. Nice night for that 95 team. Ryan Newman right there. Newman's had a pretty
Jimmie
good
Johnson in 11th place.
That's all I have for tools, brother. I'm just telling you. You can raise it up a couple inches, though, right? I know you raised it 2 inches over the course of that run. That's fine. You don't need it, but I'm doing it for you. All right, listen, I don't want you pissed. So if you need to loosen it up, that's the only thing that we can do at this point. You understand, bud? I do. I'm not sure you understand me. I have worked to my limits inside the car. This is all that I have. Unless we come up with something else, this is all that I can do. That's it.
Johnson will restart from 11th. There's Chad Knaus.
Chad's saying, I don't know what else to adjust here
Try
on a
this.
pit stop.
Yeah, try this.
Kyle Busch and Jamie McMurray. McMurray, who gave Chip Ganassi his only Daytona 500 All-Star and Brickyard win, lines up against the man who's dominated the night. Here we go.
And send him back out. Vince?
Well, the 48 of Jimmie Johnson, they've kind of lost their way of late. They're going to make a chassis adjustment, 4 tires and air pressure, just trying to snug it up a little bit, Matt.
Keselowski fans hitting the reset button.
Side coming off turn 2. There's his number 48.
Yeah, Mike, I think the deal with the 48 is pretty good on new tires. But after the new comes off the tire, it seems like the car starts to get loose and he can't handle it.
Yeah, Darryl, usually on new tires, when those pressures are down, you want a car that's turning nice and strong.
Ryan Newman right in the middle of it. Vince?
93 laps to go. That means you can run on fuel till about 35 to 40 to go right there. I felt like the leaders will split this stage in half, and somewhere around 45 to 50 to go is when you're going to see most of them hit pit road. But a lot of them are short pitting, trying to take advantage of those fresh tires now.
Boy, Jimmie Johnson going at him with Denny Hamlin here.
I've never seen Jimmie Johnson 3 wide as many times as I've seen him 3 wide tonight.
But you know what I love about Jimmie Johnson? He and Chad, they were having that conversation about the car was doing this, car was doing that. They didn't panic. They just worked on it and got it where it's pretty darn good right now, Vince.
Well, what makes it amazing is that Jimmie just came over the radio and told Chad, he said, I have no grip this run. I'm down 4.1 on the track bar. That is a lot for one run. It doesn't look like it, does it, up there riding the rim?
It really doesn't, and it doesn't matter. You're better than everybody else. That's all that matters.
He just had 3 handfuls of steering wheel in one corner.
That's what I've always said makes Jimmie Johnson one of the best, is just how loose he's willing to drive a car and do it lap after lap.
Yeah, I've said that's the hardest car to drive, I think, through the years. It's always right on the edge, always loose. That's what made it so fast.
Here for the Roger Penske going into the Hall of Fame. The Penske team, they won the Indy 500. Never before has the same race team won the Indy 500 and the Coke 600 in the same year.
And then look at Jimmie Johnson. This has been an amazing run. He went for a wild slide through turns 3 and 4, got that car on pit road, adjusted it. He hasn't been happy with it, Chris, all day long. Almost arguing back and forth with crew chief Chad Knaus, saying this thing won't drive well. But he is putting it right out next to the wall. I'm seeing more aggressive driving tonight out of Jimmie Johnson than I have all year.
And Jamie McMurray, who's won big races. He's won the Daytona 500. He's won an all-star race. He hasn't won the Coca Cola 600 and making the pass, trying to get ahead of Jimmie Johnson for 4th.
I'll tell you about Jamie McMurray. He's one of those extreme athlete guys. See how close that was as that car cut the pit road? He's one of those extreme athletes. Hamlin, that car continues to be strong. He's worked around Jimmie Johnson, put Hamlin up into the 4th position. These drivers are all hoping for what Kyle Busch isn't. Give me a late caution, please.
Said prior to the race, Michael, that the Toyotas had the speed for this race and the longevity to last. And just a quick recap, Austin Dillon, who won last year, stage 1 had a tire problem, went down and out of contention. Of course, Kevin Harvick, who came in as the favorite in this race, had a tire problem and done for the night in stage 1. So it's up to these drivers with the time remaining, just 21 laps to go.
And those, I was going to tell you, those Toyotas